If you've watched any videos, if you've seen any content over on LinkedIn, you may well have heard me talk about Project Omnis. What is Project Omnis, I hear you ask? To be fair, I don't hear very many people ask that, but I'm going to tell you anyway. And make sure you stick around until the end to hear about some incredible opportunities. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Jason Rawles. In 2024, January 2024, I had a huge mental health breakdown, issues with drinking, issues with bulimia. It led to a huge public, professional breakdown. And part of what I want to do now is share the insights of that to help people, leaders, business founders, executives, to learn from what I went through to stop them from slow sliding into burnout. And part of the rebuild for me is rebuilding my brain, my life, my world, and now my physicality. I've packed on a fair chunk of timber and it's time for that to go. So that is the essence of Project Omnis. Omnis is a Latin word. It means all, everything. So over the next year, I'm going to be partaking in a series of challenges, all of them based around fitness, endurance, strength. So starting in November, I'll be taking part in the DEKA Ultra. For those of you who don't know what Spartan DEKA is, it is a series of, fitness. So there's 10 zones. So lunges, rowing, step overs, sit-ups, throwing a ball over your shoulder, farmer's carry, sled push pull, surg, air bike, and then there's various DEKAs: DEKA strong, DEKA mild, DEKA fit. So DEKA fit is the 10 functional fitness zones, preceded by 500 meters run, so 5K in total. And the Ultra is 5 of those back to back. So my estimated time for that will be probably 7 hours. So it's a fair old challenge. So I'll be starting my year-long project in November. And then I've got the London Marathon. I'm going to be raising money for Young Epilepsy. I'll be taking part in a HYROX in January with a view to go sub 60 at the end of the year, perhaps Cardiff. On fitness, I'm going to be taking part in Race to the Stones, which is 100-kilometer stop. So in 24 hours, I'll be looking to go and climb Dablam in the Himalayas, and also in about probably September time, Kilimanjaro, which I've summited multiple times before. But a lot of this is also closing loops on various things that have gone on in my life. There'll be more stories to tell about those as we go forwards. But ultimately, it's about rebuilding my body. Large chunk of this is to be able to quiet my brain. We don't know who the we is. It's talked about that if you exhaust the body, that it tames the mind. So I find that when I'm training hard, training well and eating well, that my brain is a lot quieter. It doesn't take me to very dark places. There's a large chunk of it which is just closing loops on things. I did a London Marathon many years ago. I've done a few. So it's about reminding myself what I'm physically and mentally capable of. It's given me something fun and interesting to do. I'll be raising money for some charities along the way. And it's just pure out and out hard work. And that's what I'm really excited by. So after the breakdown or awakening, depending on how you want to look at it, certainly how I want to look at it, sat and looked once I've been through the crisis care, the therapy, once I dodged going to a health facility against my will, because at one point the police were thinking of a Section 136, and I know this because they told me. Go through that process of rebuilding, because there was a chance that I was going to try and do lots of things but not very well. But the first part, I needed to heal, I needed to rebuild, I needed to get my brain back together again, I needed to make apologies for things that had gone on. And then I needed to go back and start thinking about, what do I need to learn? How do I stop this from happening again? What's my meaning within all of that suffering? Going back to Viktor Frankl, who I've talked about many times and will continue to talk about. And now the final part of the puzzle is to get the physicality back to get training hard, to get eating well, to give myself really exciting things to look forward to. And that is the essence of Project Omnis. So I'd love you guys and girls and people and others to come along on this journey with me. I will be documenting journey as we go through. Like, I don't have the biggest audiences in the world yet, but it is a journey that I want to share. I want to share that rebuild. And certainly for those people out there that have struggled, that are struggling now, that are maybe lost and isolated, lost and alone, that are living with the mental fog that's giving them lack of purpose. Business founders that are out there trying to make millions of decisions every single day and achieving nothing, and are worried about how to make the next payroll. Execs that are out there that are just crushed by the weight of pressure with no systems and processes. As I go through this whole journey of Project Omnis, what I do want to do is share just some of the things I'm going through. What are my learnings through psychology? What are my learnings through applied positive psychology? What am I learning about human behavior? How am I applying that to myself to be able to use myself as that case study of the mental health awareness, the well-being awareness, but ultimately about cognitive performance, about cognitive overload, about cognitive fog, about cognitive drag. What is it that's been going on? So that is it. First of all, I'd love you to come on board of the journey. Now, if there are any people that are out there, sponsors, I'd love to have a tech sponsor because I need some I need kit, I need stuff, I need things. Sponsors, if you're interested in supporting the journey along the way, then please do drop me a message. I'll put together some more information as we go through this. But really, I just want to announce what's going on, because when you're hearing about Omnis is all. It's like Omnis power, Omnis performance, Omnis altitude. So climbing the high mountains, going long distances, and doing powerful timed things along that journey. And you know what? I'm excited. People there, they'll be going, "Oh, I'm really scared." I'm not scared. I'm excited. Tying myself on a DEKA Fit the other day. Know what it's like to climb in the mountains. I've done marathons before. My frames of reference are kind of there. But what I've got is like through that time, through the period, through the essence of myself, going through into alcohol issues and food issues and not dealing with trauma and losing my way, and like the whole kind of personal whiteout around me, like that whiteout. So you're in the mountains and the cloud comes down or the snow comes down and you just can't see anything around you, and it's just everything looks white. You become disorientated. You might well throw up. It's like looking at the inside of a ping pong ball. So fundamentally, Project Omnis is to drive me through that. It's the physicality, it's the health, it's exhausting my body. It's about getting to grips with mental performance. It's about understanding cognitive overload. It's about putting great systems and processes in place. And I'd love you on board with me. So come and support the journey. Put some links in, link for Young Epilepsy. Come and support that amazing charity, and more details will follow. But if you're out there and you're a company and you want to be a tech sponsor, or you want to get involved in some kind of sponsorship, help me on this journey, be part of it. Let's bring our great brands together and see what we can do. Let's go and shape this world in a great way. And I want to do that by demonstrating that you can hit rock bottom. Bottom isn't a rock, it's a freaking trampoline, right? It's like rebuilding. I've been there, I've broken myself. I've paid the price for the alcohol, the food issues, for not looking out for myself. And now I've hit the bottom and I'm now bouncing back up again. So I'll bring you along on this rebuild journey. So look, get in touch, drop a comment, and please do subscribe, right? The quicker I can get the audience going as well. There's some AdSense, will help out. So share the journey. Let's get those views up. Let's help me along this journey. And helping me, fundamentally, what we're also doing is helping the world. So I'm going to share those insights. I want to share that journey. I want to share how to rebuild. I want to share the cognitive thinking. I want to share the human behavior aspects. I want to share this whole journey with you. And that fundamentally is what Project Omnis is about. Anyway, I thank you for watching and listening. And like I said, please subscribe, and look forward to sharing this with you. Speak soon. Bye-bye.